Form blazing sword.
T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. I'm reviewing Soul of Chogokin GX-88 Voltron 1. If this guy was before the Lion Voltron, I don't remember that. I saw the Lion Voltron cartoon first. I always got confused when I seen these guys on the scene. Trust me, that says Voltron. It is very hard to see behind these lights. Voltron, Defender of the Universe. This is on loan to me from Matt, the bot supplier. Here's this image right here. Here's this stuff right here. They even put a barcode on there. This is actually just a slip cover because the Japanese text is underneath of it. Here it is. It's called Dairugger 15. Yeah, there's a 15 right there. So, yeah, I can read Roman numerals. But this is looking way more Japanese underneath of that. I don't know. Something about it just seems way more colorful in Japanese, even though I think these pictures are the same, but definitely the picture on the front. It's that blue on the bottom. I like the black slip cover better. I'm not going to murder y'all with unnecessary details, but I wanted to show you this. All the accessories, it looks like, comes on this plastic shell. Then we get the instruction booklet, and all of them come in this retro style packaging. Awesome. Styrofoam. That's awesome. I haven't seen anything like this since I was a little kid. All right, here are the three teams out of the packaging. All set up in there. This is the air team, the sea team, and the land team right there. And I'm going to go with the American names because the Japanese name is boring. It's basically Rugger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. But in the US, they had different names. And I'm going to start with the air team. This is the Command Jet Explorer. It looks like a probe. If you already know, this is the head. I'm trying to rotate this thruster thing right here. I took off the landing gear, which is supposed to be replaced anyway. But yeah, it's a little space probe thing. It has wheels down here that you can pull out. They do not roll, they're just for show. You shut it, but boom, it just looks like this. And here is the Straddle Weapons module. It is basically like a space camper or something like that. I'm guessing they store all their weapons in here. It has treads for when it does need to land. Now these are pliable right here, the treads, but there are no gears or anything. If you force it, you can get it to roll around there, but I don't think you should. I wouldn't suggest that. But yeah, this just looks like this. This is all, this part right here, that's all die cast. Advanced Recon Copter. This actually spins. Yay. They have other blades in there you can use that are bigger, but when you combine it, you shouldn't have on these, the big ones. Looks like this. Yeah, landing gear goes up in there and goes up in there, and now it can really fly. This is die cast. This all feels like die cast right here. Here are the other chrome propeller options. There are 2 each for both recon copters. I guess this would be Advanced Recon Copter 2, or should it be 4, because this is the 4th vehicle. But this one looks like this, molded differently than the other ones, just to show you both of them at the same time. The rears are pretty much the same, and the little side, these side wingy thingies, I don't even know what to call them. Maybe they're mortar cannons or something like that. And here is the Falcon Jet Fighter. I think if I thought anything was cool when I remember vaguely from what I remember as a kid, I remember liking this. And this has die cast in the front, I think. And this is definitely die cast right here. But yeah, I like it. Fake landing gear again. And that. So thrusters back there. Wings are adjustable. These kind of flap, but this one flaps way more than this one. I'm wondering, is it just loose? Alright, besides becoming the upper torso of Voltron, this thing becomes what's known as the Straddle Fighter. So basically we need to fold all this in. They put little grips for you to be able to open these things up because they're not open when you have it in a package. And they say that this part is fragile, so I'm going to pay attention to that. But basically, we do that. Turn it this way. Go ahead and take this one, plug it in over here, plug it in right there. Then we push that in, We grab this guy, shove it in there, and now we take the Falcon Fighter, or whatever the heck it's called. Whatever I said it was called. Open that up. Open this up. And we can attach it onto here. Or maybe I'll do the top first. Yay. And now we have the Straddle Fighter. I guess this makes them all one big chunk instead of individual vehicles that can get blown out of the sky real easy. And maybe they can take hits a little bit more. But if they're anything like the Lion Voltron, they should be sturdy anyway, I hope. Alright, now we have the C-Team. And this is the communications module. So I guess it's like a little tiny sub or whatever with communications radars on there and propellers, which are chrome. If I had to guess, I don't know, all of this feels like plastic. But no. Right here, this white part is definitely die cast. There's treads down here that don't really work. They're just for show. There's no wheels down there or anything. So it's super for show. This is what the back of it looks like. Make sure I zoom in on the details and whatnot. But yeah, not very interesting. These are worse. Let me just show you these at the same time. Both of these are called Space Prober. Even though these are part of the C-Team, they don't even have like fake treads or anything. But yeah, these are what they are. And these treads actually do work, so that's cool. Everything I'm touching right here, all this is gold and all that's die cast. This is plastic. But these pieces you have to put on separately. They come in the accessories tray. But you see their little cockpits and whatnot. And these are called the Multi-Wheeled Explorer. Both of them. So there you are with these. Okay, now we're going to make the Aqua Fighter, which we have to do by on this yellow one, pushing it in on this side to make this gun module or missile port module come out. Then we need to pull this up, but there's a secondary hinge, so it's like you got to maneuver that over that. Then we rotate it like this. And we take this guy, and there is a little divot that you can pull this out. And now we shove this into here. And those, in theory, these right here groove up into that area beside the die cast. This is a die cast bar. It's supposed to groove around that. When I tested it on this one, I had to push the, well, I'll show you. But same thing, get that over this so it can be flat. Rotate this. There is a release button so you can get those two pieces apart. I had to push on that in order to get this into there. Maybe I won't have to do it this time. And it's kind of hard because this slides right here. So it's kind of hard to force it on there. Meanwhile, this moves. So let me maybe do it like this. There we go. That should be in there. I didn't push this out. And now we take this guy and put that there. Put that there. And now it's the Aqua Fighter. Yay. Exciting. But you know what is exciting? This is really heavy already, so I can imagine how this is going to feel when I combine it. And now we're on the land team. And this is what they're calling the jet radar station right here. So once again, this looks like some type of space bus or whatever. It has fake treads on the bottom. No wheels or anything. I'll show that off later. But yeah, just looks like a thing. These two guys, they do have rubber tires. I don't believe there's any die cast in this. This becomes the forearms. These are called the armored equipment carriers. Sucky things about this is you see where the wheels are placed. So when you start rolling them, they pretty much nose dive into the ground immediately because of the weight. But they're hollow on the back as well. So yeah, I guess that would have interfered with the combine mode. I don't know if that's cartoon accurate, but yeah, there's no trap door or anything. So when people complain about stuff with Transformers, no trap doors. They didn't even try. That's something they would do with a deluxe class Generations Transformer right there. And it even still has the slits and everything, but that could be cartoon accurate. I don't know. And you know what else suffers because of that? These two things, the all-terrain space vehicles. All of this is die-cast. All the top layer is die-cast. And these things, can you imagine? These are supposed to be like, I guess, SUVs or cars. Everything else out here has a little cockpit like that. But these have a big window, so this must be like a big tank car. The wheels are rubber. They roll excellently and no problem with that. But they have big gaps in the bottom or in the back due to their combined mode. And let me make sure I show the back. So, yeah, there's no trap door or anything. There's no over engineering. These things barely transform to make Voltron. Now we're going to make the Turbo Terrain Fighter, which we do by lifting these little connectors up right there. Lift this up right here. You scare the crap out of me. And now we take these, and this scares the crap out of me as well. Try to like force it in the middle and not on the actual rubber, because you're going to pull the tires off. But basically do that for both of these. And this guy, we need to fold this and shut it. Now we rotate this dealie around so you get access to these ports right there. Take this, connect it into the holes that are on the bottom right there. Now we take this car right here and we shove this tab inside of that slot. And keep pushing it until the white part goes inside of the opening. And now this is called the Turbo Terrain Fighter. So it rolls nice, but it looks goofy as crap. Now we start combining stuff. I mean, this is pretty much done. The jet needs to be rearranged. But basically, pull this apart. Take these things off because they're just going to fall off anyway. Shove these in, shove that in. You can pretty much, oh yeah, push these in. But with these, they become the legs. We need to get out the ankles. You just lift up on this, shove that door in, and bring the ankles out. Shut that. Same deal over here. Shove that in, bring this out. Okay. Now we slide this into here. Slide that forward and push the wheels up. The wheels are supposed to lock this into place. Okay, we got one. Now we can do that over here. Slide this through here. Shove or do that. Now that should lock it into place. We already have these connected, luckily, from the last positioning. Shove that down. Shove that down. All right, this guy. If you didn't already, shut that, shut that. Now we need to open these doors right here. Lift up what's going to be the crotch skirt. Take these parts and kind of lift it up. Shove them into there. It's a sliding mechanism. Then it snaps into place. These hip joints are die cast. We can take them, bring them down, bring or shut the crotch skirts down, and lift this panel up right here. Come on. Spudgers, everybody. I'll put a link to Spudgers in my description. And now we take these and, or take this part and shove it onto that. I don't like this. Doesn't feel super secure, but I guess it is. I would not pick this guy up by the waist and swing him all the way around. But I suggest shoving until it's like all the way up flush with that. All right, now this guy. You're gonna wanna shove these back up. Go ahead and rotate that back down and push this back in there. And now this way, from looking at it from this angle right here, even though this rotates, but you see where that's pointing? These silver circles needs to be in that orientation. This is actually the ab crunch joint. I was saying there's no die cast on this. I was wrong. It's up in there. One thing I didn't mention is this is supposed to slide down here on the same type of sliding mechanism as the ones on the bottom of that. And this goes into there. If it doesn't go into there, you have to push this button right here so you can get it to go down as deep as possible. But I'm lifting that up and it's not disconnecting, so we should be good to go. Since these treads are turned this way because of the little combine mode they did for the vehicles, we need to put that back. We need to open this door and slide it up in there. And now basically just get this on top of there. I think I pushed on this button right here, which serves two purposes. It releases this from there and I guess shoots the head off. So I guess so you don't break these putting any stress on it while you're putting the hands on. These slide onto this. See that? That's scary right there because those are thin pieces. take this. The wheels are on the back, by the way. That slides up. So you can't do it anymore. Then you take the head, put that back in there, and open this up and open that up. And now you have freaking Voltron. These fists rotate off top. But final thing, with these clips out, this should still be so simple to follow. Basically, make it wrap around. These two clip over the top and bottom, and then the side ones go into those little area right there. Once you get it on, you can shut the wings like that. I'm guessing so you can have a better, easier time maneuvering this guy's head. This pops off, and then there's a little panel in here that you can replace that with. So now the back of the head is less hindered. Okay, I wanted to have this review out as quick as possible, but my initial feelings on this guy in robot mode are not good. So instead of me trashing this thing to hell, I'm going to mess around with it for another day and then finish this review. So yeah, I guess I need to review Marvel Legends Iron Man, since I've been sitting on that. Alrighty now, folks, I'm back, and guess what? I was not joking. I did a whole Iron Man review in the middle of this, but yeah, let me stop messing around. Here's my quick comparison right up front. As you can see, he is pretty much the same height as Masterpiece Ultra Magnus and a little bit taller than Optimus Prime there, MP44. MP44 costs more than this guy, but I can tell you right now, MP44 is more fun to me. Measuring him out at the top of that little red thing on the top of his head, he is 11.5 inches. Weighing him, he is 2 pounds 8 ounces and 1,135 grams. In comparison, Mr. Ultra Magnus, who I was just comparing him to, is 1,444 grams and 2 pounds 4.9 ounces. So he's only a little bit lighter than Voltron. Alright, let's let you see this guy. He is heavy, he is weighty, he is a bunch of different colors. He looks like something old school from the friggin' 80s, because he is. The paint looks nice, the deco looks nice, all that looks nice. It looks nice. These hands that are on the car, they still function, they rotate. You can pull this little joint out and make it do this, make it go up and down, and this opens up. So it's like it has fingers, but it doesn't have a thumb. It just has this flat thing as a thumb. If you couldn't see that before, here we go. But yeah, first thing you're going to want to do if you're anything like me, and here's one thing that I'm noticing. No matter what I do, this guy leans forward till I fix it. Then I touch him again, he's leaned forward. Touch it again, he's leaned forward. That's frustrating. But pop the hands off. Scary tight. I don't know. I think that's just hard plastic. The other replacement hands are pliable. So that these coming off is definitely freaking scary. You can shoot these off. That stand port is probably 5mm. I'm right the bottom of the stand, not the actual part you put in a normal figure. The bottom part is the same size as Transformer weapons, basically. To let you see this is the display base before I put everything on. The hands can fit under there. So what I'm going to do is give him this hand right here. This is his weapons grabbing hand. And the hand is somewhat pliable. And just to be dynamic, and you see he's leaned over again already. So yeah, I don't know if that's common and it lets you see this hand kind of moves. I wouldn't move it too much because it feels like it might break it, but the paint on it is nice. And with these hands on, and you pull that joint out, you get outward. I guess that helps with him dual wielding, and you still can get the up and down. I feel like the joint wasn't out all the way. You can get more range of that and more outward if you pull that joint out. Stand up straight, dude. But besides that, he has a secondary open gesture hand. He has 2 regular fists, and the paint detail on there is immaculate. Then he has these spinning blade holding hands, which I'll demonstrate that really quickly. And of course, another sword wielding hand. Let's get into my main gripe with this guy, articulation. It is not fun to manipulate him at all, but he does have articulation. If you pull up on his neck, you can get him to look down that much and look up that much. Of course, the head rotates, but the side to side, the joint stays in the same angle, the forward and back motion, even though if you turn it. If you wanted them to have like a side to side tilt, you had to take the bottom out, take the whole head out, and turn the joint around. Arms. Jesus Christ. It's inventive what they did here, but the shoulders are on like a double hinge, and they are very tight. Let me just pop these off now. It's like you have to take these off to articulate the daggone shoulders, because they get in the daggone way, and it's scary because this thing is expensive. And that's another problem I'm having. This arm does not want to stay in as good as the other arm. I feel like it's not in there all the way, but this is a different design than this. Like, this is closer because it's broader, but let me just do this arm then. It's like on a double hinge to give you more outward range. But when you try to bring it down, you're clunking into that. So you got to like kind of grab it, push it down, and then get that back in there. And like I said, if you see how I had to manipulate that, if the propellers were there, that would be frustrating more. But we can do that. Of course, it can rotate. It has a butterfly, a slight butterfly joint up in there. Ever so slight. The biceps rotate, and the elbows. The elbow bends here. 1, 2, stop. Then there's one tiny click there. Do not force it beyond that. No, that's not 90 degrees. I showed off the wrist. Now, the waist. Does it twist up here? No, but it does twist here to this point, to that extent. But this right here, you can lift this up, and that is scary AF. But as you can see, there are 2 hinges, and we can get them some slight ab crunch forward, maybe more, but this ship is in the way. You'll have to take that off to get more, but it can definitely look back and break up the sculpt. And trying to maneuver around this jet, frustrating and aggravating to me, because that feels fragile too. Legs has hip skirts, as you could imagine, with this freaking design. These are on a tiny, tiny, scary ball joint. Popped it off by accident. Legs can go out all the way. Can't do nothing back because that butt flap doesn't move. And the legs come forward like pretty much 90 degrees. You get swivel right there on that. So that's good. Knee joint. This bend's almost giving you a double jointed knee, but truth really be told, you're only supposed to bend it about that much. You can, especially on this side, get it beyond that to this 90 degrees, but you'll start disconnecting the leg if you bend it more than this. On this side, it does not want to give you that generous bend so much unless you're super careful with it. Every other time before I started filming this, it disconnected the leg. And now that I shoved that up in there, I don't have any fear of it disconnecting, but I haven't pulled them apart yet. Ankles are the best thing. They drop down, come back, come forward, pivot in. It feels tight. It feels nice. Go pivots the other way. There is no rotation, but you can shove that back up in there. My friend Sony from TM Reviews, maybe because of the surface that he puts his figure on, but he was complaining about the wheel still rolling. I don't have that problem so much. That's the one problem I don't have. But this right here, this leaning forward, is a problem. So you're going to definitely have to put him in some type of dynamic pose. And now for my favorite thing in this set. And this sword is pretty much, it's the exact same height as him. This is my favorite thing. This sword is freaking awesome. Like, it is really, really cool. But you can just slide this in his sword holding hand. One thing I've noticed is, let me put the arm like kind of straight. It's not doing it. Well, yeah, there we go. The sword puts enough weight on him to do that once you get beyond a certain point in the little ratchet system they got on this arm. Haven't put it in this hand yet, but there's that, because this sword is very big, very long, and because of the way the hand is shaped, it kind of holds the sword at an angle. It doesn't hold it straight, and you can't really adjust for that because the wrist goes out. So that doesn't help you adjust for it. So yeah, there's that. I could imagine if I put it in this hand, that doesn't have a grip on that at all. But you can adjust it. But yeah, that doesn't have any grip on it. You can't really hold it in his blade holding hand because there's a little peg right there that they warn you is fragile. So it can kind of go through, but then the peg makes it want to come out at an angle. So yeah. Before we move forward, I wanted to show him in some type of sword holding pose right here. So there you are. His next accessories I'm going to try to breeze through, but he has two different types of propellers right there. I would assume that when you use these, you take the ones off of his arms because he's supposed to be using these. And basically, like I showed, it has a peg there. I would groove this in between the thumb, groove this part in between those fingers, and peg this on top of that peg. And now it's holding it right there. Alongside those, here are the powered up versions. So yeah, you have two different ones that it can hold. They have a light shimmery paint on it on top of this translucent plastic. Now, unlike the thin propellers, you can't just put these in between the finger. They expect you to put it in the hand like this and groove the little peg hole over top of the peg so it can hold it like that. Here they are in the hand, and this is why the wrists go outward. I wish it went both ways, but this is definitely why it goes outward so that you don't rub up against the forearm. These are the Solar Combat Spears. They just feel like hollow silk, well, chromed up plastic. The sword is kind of lightweight too, but I like these weapons as well. I guess this would be the form that it takes at first, and then it probably extends. There is a separation right here, so it separates on both parts actually. So we can go ahead and put that in the hand and plug it back together so he can be holding it. But yeah, look at that. That's annoying. I would want the longer part hanging out. So go in from this way and plug it There you go. Here it is in the hand. Let me do that. So there he is holding it. And same thing for this guy. Unfortunately for this one, I mean, you can take this big part off, which definitely can't fit through the hand. But now we can slide that through, and you have to, at this point, force it through there so it can hold it. Plop that back on, and here you are. I guess we can go ahead and groove that under the finger. So there we go. It's holding it nicely. Since he's magic, I'll just make him hold both of them. Here's something I just realized, because the arm came off as I was taking his hand off, but the fins here rotate. So I guess that helps them not break. I couldn't get it back on, and I was like, what is going on? And I realized they were bent. Here is the Ray Beam Whip. And on the packaging, I swear he's using this hand, but it's impossible for it to hold this. Well, on the packaging, it looks like this, but it has to be holding it with this hand. And here's what I realized. These are more pliable than I thought. So you're going to have to force that through and then get them to grip it. What's cool about this whip is it has freaking bendy wire in it. So it takes the shape that you want. So you can have his arm flailing out like he's swinging it. And the bendy wire is quite strong. So that is definitely cool. And now the Elektra Whip. I guess this would be the thing on the back of his head if I didn't take that off already to give him better head articulation. But I guess you would have to take this off. Pretend this is that. Attach this Elektra Whip effect right there. And now this open palm hand, only the right hand has this little slit inside of there for this. So you groove this into there, and maybe he's hitting something with that. I wish it was longer, and it's only in that one angle, so he could be attacking somebody with that and this guy at the same time. Last thing I need to show y'all is the display base. I have all the hands back on there, and I have the original vehicle hands under there. They actually fit. You can't get both of them right here. Well, you can't get one right here because these things get in the way. But right here, we can take this Dairugger sign off and put Voltron on there if you want. You can take this little guy, the back of the thing that goes on the back of his head. Plug this right here. You can take the little whip holster, put that right here. This is basically that's just sitting there. That's not pegged on at all. So put that there and put this here. Take these and put these here. The little radar dishes sit right there. Blazing sword goes here. Solar spear here. And the other solar spear there. Energy propellers go. I don't even know how to do this, but that goes there. And this one goes here on top of it. Same thing on the other side. Regular propellers. This one goes here. And the other one goes over top of it. Same thing on the other side. Coming around back, I officially put these on backward, but this is supposed to groove into there. I didn't even know this. This separates. So now we can. I still don't see a good way to do this because these little claws bump into that little post. So got that off, got that in there. Okay, we're scrubbing that. I'm just gonna gently put that there, leave it alone. Last thing to do is put this here. Now you have every single thing except this, which you could put right back into the packaging. Everything's on display. You put that in your detail and have it ready whenever you want to pose this guy. But Lord knows why you would want to do that. Final things he comes with are these little blue transparent caps. I'll show you a picture of what they do because I'm not opening this. If you have a Bandai Tamashii stage act like I do, you put those caps on there, and then you can put the propellers on top of that and spin it and make him look like he's throwing them out. But yeah, that's cool. Alrighty now, folks, I did want to end things. Let me turn it. Yeah, there we go. I wanted to end things by showing that regular fists. There you are. I would definitely, if not nothing else, put those fists on straight out of the package. As soon as I combine them up, I would take those regular car hands off. But yeah, I don't know if you could probably tell, I don't really like this that much. The lion version of Voltron mops the floor with this like all day. It's way more fun to manipulate. And combined mode, the individual lions are fun because they are actual things that do stuff. You have 5 actual action figures that combine into one thing. The individual vehicles for this, boring as hell. Boring. Now, if you were a little kid or something, you could probably have some imagination with these, or maybe you still have a childlike heart and these would be more fun to you, but for me, the vehicles are boring. Combining him together, not really fun at all, because you heard all the stuff I was complaining about while moving this guy around. If none of that bothers you, you just like the way this guy looks, likes the way he's painted, like the way it feels because of the die cast, you will be satisfied with your $300 purchase. And I think it jumped up to $400 right after release. They may do a re-release later for $300 or closer to $300 again, but I don't know. Me, I am happy I couldn't afford this when it came out, because I would be bored to tears. I wouldn't have no problem selling it. So I know there's a bunch of people out there that want this guy, but for me, it's kind of boring due to the way it articulates, or lack thereof. I find it to be very, very frustrating. It looks good, but I don't know if you want to have, me personally, I don't like paying $300 for something I can't really do anything with. For $300, I really want an awesome action figure. And for clarity on me, if y'all don't know this from watching more than one review, I love Articulation. I put Articulation above everything. People hate this guy, but he is crazy articulated, and I just get fun just by sitting around doing this all day. But yeah, thank y'all for watching this. Thank you, Matt the Bot Supplier, for allowing me to review this guy and trusting this thing in my possession. I haven't done you wrong yet. I don't think I broke anything that you lent me. But thank y'all again for watching. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here. Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description. Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should click those videos. Click that shit.